Alright. Today King shared with me a video with Jason Scott Lee expressing his views on MMA. And here's my feedback. For those of you that don't know, Jason Scott Lee is the actor that played Bruce Lee in Dragging the Bruce Lee Story. And he has a gymnast background. He's very fit. And then he trained in he trained in some martial art techniques in order to prepare for the film. Now, he was trained in one of Bruce Lee's old disciples. And he so-called supposedly learned Jeet Kune Do, even though that's impossible, but that's what he claimed. And he's expressing his views on MMA, and it's on YouTube. And basically, he was basically saying MMA is not the way. You know, it's not real martial arts. He was basically saying that in his own way, in a very respectable, subtle way. He wasn't too aggressive, and he wasn't directly talking down on it. He's just basically saying that's not the way of martial arts, and that there's no humility, there's no respect. And I give him a thumbs up for that. I think it's his views coincide with mine. And even though he's not like a lifelong practitioner in the martial arts, he at least knows that that's not the way. And that's, you know, just knowing that in itself already makes him more of a martial artist than any of these combat sport fighters out there. He knows that that's not the way, you know, and he practices martial arts on his own. And, you know, I respect him a lot more than any of those sport fighters. And this guy played the role of Bruce Lee in Dragging the Bruce Lee Story. He studied the quote-unquote Jeet Kune Do with, you know, one of Bruce Lee's old disciples. So you got the person acting, you know, he was an actor for Bruce, who's basically saying that is not the way. Now if Bruce was here, he would be the one saying that's not the way. But people want to try to say no, you know, he would have agreed and all this other crap. But you got that guy saying that's not the way, and he's the one who played Bruce in the movie. And he trained with Bruce, one of Bruce's students. And you got me, who read all of Bruce's stuff and studied Bruce thoroughly, and studied Eastern philosophy thoroughly, and I got a Chinese background, and I studied martial arts pretty much for many years. I'm saying it's not the way either. You know, I've been heavily inspired by Bruce. This guy's been inspired by Bruce, and he actually played his role. And you read Bruce's books, you know that he's saying that is not the way. I mean, Bruce is all, when it comes to combat, Bruce is all about the real fighting. And that crap that you see in the cage is not real fighting. It's far from it. So clearly, just on the combative aspect alone, it goes against what he was teaching. You know, as you see in his movies, there's all sorts of weapons, there's multiple offenders and all this stuff. You don't see that stuff in the cage. So obviously, he wouldn't have supported it, because his teachings already go against it. So I respect Jason Scott Lee for expressing his views on the MMA and basically going against it. I don't respect the people that support it, such as maybe like Shannon Lee or Linda Lee or whoever, just because they want to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to support it and make money because they're giving you money to support than it is to speak against it. Because once you speak against it, they're not going to give you any money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, say, Michael Jordan that Coca-Cola says, hey, you know, we'll give you $200 million, you support us. But then he's like, I don't even drink Coke. But then they're like, well, we'll give you $200 million. Okay, fine. I mean, that's how it is. You know, Linda Lee, Shannon Lee, hey, you know, support MMA. We'll give you $20,000. Okay, yeah, we'll support it. Yeah. That's how easy it is. But if you don't support it, then you don't make the money. So a lot of these people, they're supporting it because they get the money. You know, and it's all political. And it's all pretty much what, you know, bribery, what the mafia does. You know what I'm saying? You got the people that, the mafia lords that just control everything, drug cartels, whatever. They'll just pay you to do what they want you to do. And that's pretty much what's going on. This MMA case fighting, prostitution, gambling, alcohol, drugs. It's all in the same category. Pornography. It's all in the same. It's all like stuff that's like vices. I mean, stuff that is not healthy for society. That's not true martial arts. That's not the way. You know, and they could tell you, they could try to make it seem like it is all they want, but you know it's not. If you have any just a little small intelligence, just a little intelligence, you already know it's not the way. And Jason Scott Lee, he knows it's not the way. Jackie Chan's expressed that it's not the way. Even Jet Li expressed that it's not the way. Jason Scott Lee is Chinese. Jet Li's Chinese. Jackie Chan's Chinese. They all say it's not the way. I'm Chinese. I'm saying it's not the way. The Wing Chun community, the traditional Wing Chun, they say it's not the way because they tell Bruce themselves, hey, you know, don't teach these white people and these black people, they're going to exploit it. And that's what they did. Now, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but hey, you know, whatever they worried about is exactly what happened. You know, and who are the people that are in there, in the cage? Look at the race. I mean, it's people that, they're bullies. I'm not saying that all people of this race are that way, but just America in itself is a huge bully. And America basically doesn't deserve to learn martial arts. The culture is just too violent. They're too aggressive. They don't deserve to learn martial arts. You know, and anything you teach them, they find some way to corrupt it. So as I stated in another video, the world is not ready for real martial arts, and it's gonna be that way. It's gonna stay that way. And Jason Scott Lee, I'm glad that he shared his thoughts, and he just ends up being another one of my supporters because his ideas coincide with mine. And you see that we're all pretty much, you got a bunch of people supporting this stuff, but you got me speaking against it, you got him speaking against it, you got Jackie Chan speaking against it, you got Jet Li speaking against it, you got Bruce Lee in his books, his teachings go against it. Hey, you know, and we all happen to be Chinese, and where the martial arts begin? In China. So clearly this is not the way of the martial arts. This is the way of violence. It's not something I agree with. You know what I'm saying? So that's my feedback with that.